So, in the past, I reviewed Dior Homme Original, but today I'm going to review another Dior Homme, which is specifically Dior Homme Eau for Men. So, this is one of my favorites here. But unfortunate news, people, unfortunate news. The Eau for Men specifically has been discontinued, or at least I can't find it anymore. I don't know what happened to it, but you can't really buy it anymore. But because I usually put product links in the description to make it easy to find them. Since this is discontinued, I'm going to instead put the link to the Dior Homme Eau de Toilette, which I would say is the most similar alternative to the Eau for Men. And I think I'll also put the link to Dior Homme Intense, because it is similar, just more intense. But I am reviewing this, even though it is discontinued, because it's a really nice fragrance. And I'm going to start with the fact that this came out in 2014. And the goal here, I guess according to the designers, was that they wanted to avoid the typical and commonly used masculine cliches in men's fragrances. And I would definitely agree with that, because this smells very different from your typical men's fragrance. When you put it on, it is something else. Let me put some on my wrist here. And immediately, you could tell there's something unique about this, and it's really down to the very specific notes that are used in this fragrance. So, first of all, the top notes. The opening is so nice. It's fresh. It's like springtime. Like, you know, when it's a little bit brisk outside, the trees are starting to get their first leaves, first blossoms. You know, it's like that. Very, very springtime, but still masculine, still fresh, still solid. So the top notes here are coriander, grapefruit, and bergamot. And I would say all of them are pretty prominent when you first put it on. You really get the coriander. It's a nice kind of spiciness, but not too intense. Followed by the bergamot, which of course is very citrusy, bright, juicy, fresh. A little bit cold. It's definitely on the colder side, this fragrance. And fresh is definitely the word to describe kind of the aura of this fragrance. And I like that it mixes that freshness with the coriander, which is, you know, has a little bit of warmth. Then, moving on to the middle notes, there's only one middle note, which is Tuscan Iris. So, Iris is one of my favorite notes, and the cool thing about it is it's also in some of the other Dior Hommes, like Dior Homme Intense has the iris, and then Dior Homme Original has the iris. The Dior Homme Eau de Toilette does not have iris, which is kind of a downside if you're looking forward to that note. The Eau de Toilette is a little bit more of a woodsy scent. This is more of a, not floral, but just less woodsy. And I would say the iris here is kind of the heart of the whole fragrance. Now, it's not feminine, because people think, oh, it's a floral note, it's gonna make it this male fragrance too feminine. But I would argue, you know, it's there, but it's not really sweet. It's a very natural kind of cold, fresh scent. I really like that. I think it's a very attractive kind of complexity that it has, because remember, this floral note is being contrasted with that coriander, which is very warm and spicy, with the bergamot, and then moving down to the base notes, two main base notes, which is amber and Virginian cedar. Two of those obviously are very warm notes. So the amber, very resinous, very warm, gives it definitely a more masculine tone to that iris. Then the cedar as well kind of smooths things out, gives it a very solid foundation. I really like cedar. It's a very kind of dry, solid, almost clean scent, at the same time being very natural, very kind of foresty. And you could definitely get that cedar. I would say the cedar note is a little bit stronger than the amber note. The amber is a little bit more in the background, but it's still prominent. But the cedar definitely, for the base notes, is the kind of main thing going on. It also has a certain, it kind of complements the coriander in terms of the warmth and kind of solidity that it has. Plus mixed with, of course, the bergamot, which is very fresh, and then the iris. You know, all these things are complementing each other. They pull and push and contrast and complement. So, you know, these are very different notes, but when you put them together, they're very, very nice. I would say this is a very sophisticated scent. This is not a clubbing scent. This is not you're gonna go to a party or on a you know, this is more formal, I would say. You could wear this to work easily. This is kind of I would say more of a CEO sort of fragrance, like a boss type of fragrance. Or if you're wearing a suit, you could wear this. Or if you're going somewhere nice, maybe a nice dinner. But this is definitely a more mature, sophisticated, elegant sort of scent. You're more serious, more somber with this sort of fragrance, and you could immediately tell that's what this is going for as soon as you put it on. It has a very specific kind of feel to it, which I really like. You know, as soon as you smell it, you can recognize it. You can kind of get a feeling of what it's trying to do. It knows what it is, you know? So it's a very well-developed, well-crafted, high-quality fragrance. And I mean, obviously from Dior, you would expect that quality. I haven't really smelled a scent from Dior yet that I dislike. So, you know, they know what they're doing. And I would also say the longevity and the kind of sillage that this has, moderate on both accounts. Again, this isn't a super loud, super obnoxious, like clubbing sort of fragrance, really in your face. This is more kind of more, again, moderate in your immediate vicinity, that you'll get this nice scent. It is still strong. It will last quite a while. I would say 6 to 7 hours, leading more on 7. Still really good. You know, it will persist throughout the day. Then the sillage, you know, it does have a nice scent trail. People will definitely be able to pick it up as you're walking through the room, or you're just standing or sitting in one place. People will notice it. So, you know, it's not super weak or anything. It has a nice moderate tone to it. And it's just, it's really nice for those who want something different than the very typical and popular masculine clones and other fragrances out there. Because, again, sometimes a lot of men's clones try to do the exact same thing. They try to be this super in-your-face, alpha males, you know, all the way sort of fragrance. But this is a little bit different, a little more, again, trying to kind of turn the tables on what a masculine fragrance is supposed to be. So you get this kind of more unique scent. You know, when you walk into a room and everyone else is wearing pretty much the same thing, you could be wearing something quite a lot different and more interesting. And those are my main thoughts on Dior Homme Eau for Men. Again, unfortunately, it's pretty hard to find the Eau for Men these days, but again, the Eau de Toilette or the Dior Homme Intense are both really good alternatives. But that is pretty much all I have to say for this video. If you enjoyed it, of course, don't forget to leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so don't forget about those.